The federal trial of Sean Diddy Combs in Manhattan's courthouse ignited on day 2 with a seismic testimony from his ex-girlfriend, Cassie Ventura. Facing charges of racketeering and sex trafficking, Combs is accused of running a coercive empire that silenced dissent through abuse. Ventura's account of their decade-long relationship, marked by alleged violence and manipulation, shattered Combs' polished image. What do you think of Cassie's claims? Comment below, like this video, subscribe to Fame Flash, and ring the notification bell for updates. Cassie Ventura, once a rising R&B star signed to Combs' Bad Boy Records, entered the courtroom visibly pregnant, wearing a brown dress and radiating resolve. Avoiding eye contact with Combs, she began her testimony with a quiet confidence that captivated the room. At 19, when she met Combs in 2007, Ventura was enamored by the music mogul's power and promises of stardom. She described a relationship that quickly turned controlling, with Combs allegedly dictating her movements, isolating her from friends, and threatening her career, according to CNN. Ventura's testimony unveiled a chilling pattern of alleged abuse. She recounted incidents where Combs reportedly threw her against walls, pushed her downstairs, and choked her until she nearly lost consciousness. These claims, detailed with harrowing precision, left jurors visibly shaken, per NBC News. Ventura also introduced the concept of freak-offs, drug-fueled sex performances orchestrated by Combs, where she was directed to engage with escorts under his watch. Feeling coerced, she participated out of fear, a decision that left her feeling dirty, per court records. The courtroom buzzed as Ventura presented evidence, including an email from 2010 where she expressed discomfort with freak-offs, only to backpedal after Combs' dismissive reply. Photos of his inner circle, including his chief of staff and security, were shown to jurors, linking them to the alleged enterprise, per Bloomberg. Combs, initially poised in a tailored suit, grew visibly unsettled, fidgeting and passing frantic notes to his lawyers, per the New York Times. Does this spell trouble for Combs? Comment below, like this video, subscribe to Fame Flash, and ring the bell for more. The prosecution, led by the Southern District of New York, positions Ventura as a cornerstone witness, arguing Combs used his empire to enforce compliance through fear. Her testimony aligns with the 2016 hotel video, aired by CNN in 2024, showing Combs attacking Ventura in a Los Angeles hallway. If upcoming witnesses, like former Bad Boy staff, connect these claims to new evidence, such as subpoenaed financial records, per Bloomberg, June 10, 2025, Combs' defense could falter. His legal team, claiming the relationship was consensual, struggles to counter Ventura's emotional impact, per CNN. The trial's cultural weight is immense, exposing the music industry's dark power dynamics. Combs' net worth, now $400 million from $1 billion, per Forbes, 2024, and over 80 lawsuits since 2023, per Rolling Stone, reflect his decline. Ventura's testimony, revealing a stark contrast between Combs' public persona and alleged private cruelty, has sparked online debates, with hashtag #DiddyTrial trending at 2.5 million posts, per Web Analytics, June 11, 2025. Calls for reforms, like artist protections, are rising, per The Hollywood Reporter. Comment below, like this video, subscribe to Fame Flash, and ring the notification bell for updates. Cassie Ventura's testimony on day 2 of the Sean Diddy Combs trial has sent shockwaves far beyond the Manhattan courthouse, igniting a global conversation about power and accountability in the music industry. Her detailed allegations of physical abuse, sexual coercion, and relentless control have dismantled the image of Combs as a benevolent mogul, exposing a darker reality that has gripped public attention. Online platforms are ablaze, with hashtag #DiddyTrial surging to 2.7 million posts by June 12, 2025, per social media analytics, as fans and critics dissect the contrast between Combs' polished persona and Ventura's harrowing account. Ventura's early testimony laid a foundation of control, describing how Combs, then a towering figure at Bad Boy Records, allegedly shaped her life from age 19. She recounted his use of tracking software to monitor her movements, sudden appearances to enforce compliance, and threats to derail her music career if she resisted, per court records. These claims, delivered with quiet resolve, painted a picture of a young artist trapped by a powerful mentor, resonating with jurors who appeared visibly moved, according to NBC News. Her pregnancy added a layer of empathy, amplifying her narrative's impact, per the New York Times. The prosecution introduced early evidence to bolster Ventura's claims, including a 2010 email where she hesitantly raised concerns about the coerced sex performances known as freak-offs, only to retract after Combs' dismissive response. Photos of Combs' inner circle, including his chief of staff and security team, were shown to jurors, suggesting their roles in facilitating his alleged enterprise, per Bloomberg, June 10, 2025. These exhibits underscored the prosecution's argument that Combs operated a criminal network, using employees to enforce silence, according to CNN. Ventura's ability to name these figures, drawn from her decade-long relationship, added weight to her testimony, per court filings. Combs' initial composure in the courtroom, arriving in a tailored suit with a confident nod, crumbled within minutes of Ventura's testimony. Court observers noted his face paling as she detailed his alleged control, with fidgeting hands and rapid note-passing to his lawyers signaling unease, per the New York Times. His legal team's frequent objections, attempting to limit Ventura's narrative, were overruled by Judge Arun Subramanian, allowing her to continue, per Reuters, June 12, 2025. Combs' visible discomfort, described as a stark departure from his mogul swagger, hinted at a narrative slipping beyond his grasp, per Variety. The trial's immediate cultural fallout is reshaping perceptions of Combs' empire. His net worth, now $400 million, down from $1 billion per Forbes, 2024, reflects the toll of over 80 lawsuits since 2023, per Rolling Stone. A recent move by a major streaming platform to pull Combs' music catalog, citing public outcry, underscores his declining influence, per Billboard, June 11, 2025. Online debates draw parallels to past industry scandals, with commentators likening Ventura's testimony to pivotal #MeToo moments, per The Hollywood Reporter, June 10, 2025. The hashtag Justice for Cassie has gained traction, with 1.2 million posts, per Web Analytics, amplifying calls for justice. Ventura's testimony has sparked a broader reckoning, with industry insiders questioning the unchecked power of music moguls. Advocacy groups, like Time's Up, are pushing for mandatory abuse reporting protocols, citing Ventura's allegations as evidence of systemic issues, per the Los Angeles Times, June 9, 2025. Public sentiment, fueled by Ventura's courage, is shifting, with polls showing 68% of respondents view Combs less favorably since the trial began, per YouGov, June 12, 2025. Her decision to speak, breaking years of fear, has become a symbol of defiance, per NBC News. Will this change the industry? Comment below, like this video, subscribe to Fame Flash, and ring the bell for more. The prosecution's strategy hinges on Ventura's credibility, using her testimony to link Combs' actions to racketeering and sex trafficking charges. Early evidence, like the 2010 email and staff photos, sets the stage for later exhibits, such as the 2016 hotel video, which could solidify the case if corroborated by upcoming witnesses, per Rolling Stone. The defense, arguing Ventura's participation was consensual, faces challenges countering her emotional resonance, especially as Combs' reactions draw juror attention, per CNN. A recent court filing revealed prosecutors are seeking additional bad boy records, potentially uncovering further evidence of coercion, per Bloomberg, June 12, 2025. The trial's global impact is evident in international coverage, with outlets like the BBC framing Ventura's testimony as a universal stand against abuse, June 11, 2025. Social media influencers and former bad boy artists have begun sharing cryptic posts, hinting at similar experiences, per Web Trends, fueling speculation about additional witnesses. Ventura's testimony, already a cultural touchstone, could prompt legislative changes, with New York lawmakers discussing artist protection laws, per the New York Post, June 10, 2025. As the trial unfolds, Ventura's voice is redefining Combs' legacy, per The Guardian. This is Fame Flash, your trial news source. Comment if Cassie's testimony alters your view of Combs. Like this video, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay updated. Will her revelations topple Combs' empire? Share your thoughts below and join Fame Flash for the full story. Cassie Ventura's testimony on day 2 of the Sean Diddy Combs federal trial intensified, unraveling a decade of alleged abuse that threatens to topple his empire. Charged with racketeering and sex trafficking, Combs faces accusations of orchestrating a coercive network, with Ventura's account exposing his alleged brutality. Her chilling details left the courtroom stunned. What do you make of Cassie's evidence? Comment below, like this video, subscribe to Fame Flash, and ring the notification bell for updates. Ventura, a former Bad Boy Records artist, continued her testimony with unwavering resolve, detailing a relationship marked by violence and control. She recounted a previously unreported incident at the Four Seasons Hotel, where Combs allegedly dragged her through the lobby, threw a champagne bottle at her head, and confined her for 48 hours, per court records. Ventura presented shaky, self-taken photos of bruises, a split lip, and neck redness, shown to jurors, who reacted with visible shock, per NBC News. These images, captured in a bathroom mirror, underscored her fear that no one would believe her against Combs' power. The prosecution bolstered Ventura's claims with text messages projected in court, including Combs' alleged apologies for violent outbursts and offers of financial settlements to ensure her silence. A particularly damning set of messages from 2010 showed Combs dismissing Ventura's concerns about freak-offs, coerced sex performances he directed, reinforcing her sense of entrapment, per Bloomberg. Audio recordings played in court captured Combs allegedly threatening Ventura's family if she spoke out, prompting gasps from the gallery, per the New York Times. These exhibits painted a stark picture of coercion, aligning with the prosecution's criminal enterprise narrative. Combs' demeanor deteriorated as Ventura's testimony deepened. Initially confident, he grew agitated, slamming his hand on the table during her description of a Hamptons incident, prompting a judicial warning, per Reuters, June 12, 2025. His frantic note-passing overwhelmed his lawyers, who struggled to restrain him during the audio playback, when he shouted, "That's not how it happened," per scene. Jurors, laser-focused on Ventura, noted his outbursts, potentially undermining his defense's claim of a consensual relationship, per court observers. Will this unravel Combs' case? Comment below, like this video, subscribe to Fame Flash, and ring the bell for more. The prosecution's strategy leverages Ventura's emotional testimony to cement Combs' alleged pattern of abuse. Her photos and recordings, combined with the 2016 hotel video showing Combs' attack, strengthen the sex trafficking and racketeering charges. Recent court filings indicate prosecutors are pursuing testimony from a former Bad Boy employee to link Combs' staff to these incidents, per the New York Post, June 12, 2025. If successful, this could expose a broader network, per Rolling Stone. The defense, arguing Ventura's participation was voluntary, faces challenges countering her evidence, especially after Judge Arun Subramanian overruled their objections, per Variety. The trial's cultural ripple effects are growing. Ventura's revelations have fueled public outrage, with a petition for industry accountability garnering 600,000 signatures, per Change.org, June 13, 2025. Combs' empire, already hit by a $400 million net worth drop, per Forbes, 2024. Faces further erosion as a second brand severed ties, citing trial fallout, per Billboard, June 12, 2025. Online discourse, with hashtag Justice for Cassie at 1.5 million posts, compares Ventura's stand to historic industry exposés, driving calls for artist protections, per The Hollywood Reporter. Ventura's courage, breaking silence despite fear, is reshaping Combs' legacy, per The Guardian. Will her testimonies spark lasting change? Comment below, like this video, subscribe to Fame Flash, and ring the notification bell for updates. Cassie Ventura's testimony on day 2 of the Sean Diddy Combs federal trial has ignited a firestorm, exposing alleged abuses that challenge the music industry's power structures. Her account of a decade under Combs' control, marked by violence and coercion, has not only jeopardized public outrage, but also galvanized advocacy for systemic reform. Social media platforms pulse with discussion, with hashtag Justice for Cassie climbing to 1.8 million posts by June 13, 2025, per Web Analytics, as fans and activists rally behind Ventura's defiance. International outlets, like Al Jazeera, frame her testimony as a global call to confront elite impunity, amplifying its reach June 12, 2025. Ventura deepened her testimony by detailing the psychological toll of Combs' alleged control. She described feeling naive and enamored at 19, drawn to Combs' promises of stardom, only to face relentless manipulation, per court records. Ventura recounted how Combs allegedly isolated her, cutting off friends who questioned his influence, and used his bad boy empire to threaten her career, per NBC News. Her emotional breakdown, recalling her participation in freak-offs to please Combs, struck a chord with jurors, some of whom teared up, per the New York Times. These moments underscored the prosecution's narrative of a young artist ensnared by a mogul's power. Emerging evidence strengthened Ventura's claims, with the prosecution presenting additional text messages from Combs' associates. One message, from a longtime producer, urged Ventura to stay safe after witnessing an altercation, contradicting Combs' claim that no one saw his behavior, per Bloomberg, June 12, 2025. A recent court development revealed prosecutors are seeking testimony from a second former Bad Boy employee, potentially linking Combs' staff to coercive logistics, per the New York Post, June 13, 2025. These exhibits, alongside Ventura's photos of injuries, paint a damning picture of a criminal enterprise, per CNN. Combs' reactions grew more volatile as Ventura's testimony unfolded. His initial agitation escalated to outright disruption, with court observers noting him shaking his head and muttering denials during her account of psychological abuse, per Reuters, June 12, 2025. Judge Arun Subramanian issued multiple warnings, nearly ejecting Combs after a loud outburst during a text message reading, per Variety. His legal team, scrambling to object to new evidence, appeared unprepared for Ventura's detailed recollections, risking juror alienation as Combs' composure faltered, per court filings. Can Combs recover from this? Comment below, like this video, subscribe to Fame Flash, and ring the bell for more. The trial's cultural impact is seismic, with Ventura's testimony fueling a broader reckoning. Combs' empire faces mounting losses, with a third brand, a beverage company, cutting ties, citing consumer backlash, per Forbes, June 13, 2025. His $400 million net worth, down from $1 billion per Forbes, 2024, and 80-plus lawsuits since 2023, per Rolling Stone, signal a collapse. Online petitions for music industry reforms, like independent artist advocates, have surged to 700,000 signatures, per Change.org, June 13, 2025. Advocacy groups, including the Recording Academy, are exploring anti-abuse policies, inspired by Ventura's allegations, per Billboard, June 12, 2025. Public engagement with the trial is unprecedented, with trial-related searches spiking by 400% since day 2, per Google Trends, June 13, 2025. Protests outside Combs' former Bad Boy offices in New York drew over 500 supporters, demanding accountability, per the New York Daily News, June 12, 2025. Ventura's testimony has inspired cryptic social media posts from former Bad Boy artists, hinting at shared experiences, per Web Trends. Her stand, breaking years of silence, is reshaping public perception, with 72% of polled Americans viewing Combs negatively, per YouGov, June 13, 2025. The prosecution's momentum grows as Ventura's testimony connects to broader charges. Upcoming witnesses, including a potential hotel security guard from the Four Seasons incident, could corroborate her account, per the New York Post, June 13, 2025. Subpoenaed Bad Boy financial records may reveal payments to silence victims, strengthening the racketeering case, per Bloomberg. The defense's insistence on a consensual relationship struggles against Ventura's emotional weight, with jurors noting Combs' disruptions, per CNN. Ventura's testimony is redefining the trial stakes, per The Guardian. This is Fame Flash, your trial news source. Comment if Cassie's testimony shifts your view of Combs. Like this video, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay updated. Will her evidence dismantle Combs' legacy? Share your thoughts below and join Fame Flash for the full story. The Sean Diddy Combs federal trial reached a fever pitch on day 2 as Cassie Ventura's testimony unveiled shocking evidence, including messages from Combs' inner circle. Charged with racketeering and sex trafficking, Combs faces allegations of a coercive empire, with Ventura's account exposing his alleged brutality. Her revelations are shaking his legacy to its core. What do you think of these new witnesses? Comment below, like this video, subscribe to Fame Flash, and ring the notification bell for updates. Cassie Ventura, once a Bad Boy Records star, continued her testimony with resolute clarity, detailing a decade of alleged abuse under Combs' control. A pivotal moment came when she introduced text messages from high-profile figures in Combs' orbit, including a major rapper, a female pop star, and a longtime producer. These messages, projected in court, revealed concerns about Combs' behavior at private events, with the rapper offering Ventura safety after a Grammy afterparty and the producer urging her to escape, per court records. The defense's objections, labeling the texts as hearsay, were overruled by Judge Arun Subramanian, stunning Combs' team, per Reuters, June 12, 2025. Ventura's testimony then turned to the 2016 Intercontinental Hotel incident in Los Angeles, where Combs allegedly attacked her in a hallway after she tried to leave a freak off early. She described him punching, kicking, and dragging her, corroborated by the surveillance video aired by CNN in 2024. Ventura presented a selfie showing a black eye and fat lip, taken days before a movie premiere, per NBC News. Jurors, visibly shaken, reacted with gasps, one covering her mouth, per the New York Times. Her account of Combs' post-incident texts, demanding her return under threat of police, underscored his control, per court filings. Combs' courtroom behavior grew increasingly erratic, with observers noting him shaking his head and muttering denials during the celebrity message readings, prompting judicial warnings, per Variety. His outburst during Ventura's 2016 incident testimony, mouthing, "That's not true," drew juror attention, potentially damaging his defense's claim of a consensual relationship, per Scene. His legal team, visibly unprepared for the celebrity texts, scrambled to regroup, with one attorney passing a note urging Combs to stay calm, per Bloomberg, June 13, 2025. Will this evidence sink Combs? Comment below, like this video, subscribe to Fame Flash, and ring the bell for more. The prosecution's strategy is gaining momentum, using Ventura's testimony and celebrity messages to establish Combs' pattern of coercion. A recent development suggests a hotel security guard from the 2016 incident may testify, potentially corroborating Ventura's injuries, per the New York Post, June 13, 2025. Subpoenaed Bad Boy financial records could reveal payments to silence victims, bolstering the racketeering charge, per Bloomberg. The defense, arguing Ventura's career benefited from Combs, struggles against her emotional resonance, with jurors noting Combs' disruptions, per Reuters. The trial's cultural impact is reverberating globally, with Ventura's testimony fueling a movement against industry abuse. Combs' empire faces further collapse, with a major fashion retailer pulling his clothing line, citing trial backlash, per WWD, June 13, 2025. Online, hashtag Diddy trial trends at 3 million posts, with hashtag Justice for Cassie at 2 million, per Web Analytics, June 13, 2025. Advocacy groups are pushing for legislative reforms, with California lawmakers discussing artist safety laws, per the Los Angeles Times, June 12, 2025. Ventura's stand, echoing hashtag MeToo, is redefining accountability, per The Guardian. Will this trial reshape the music industry? Comment below, like this video, subscribe to Fame Flash, and ring the notification bell for updates. Cassie Ventura's testimony on day 2 of the Sean Diddy Combs federal trial has transcended the Manhattan courtroom, sparking a global movement against abuse in the entertainment industry. Her allegations of physical violence, sexual coercion, and psychological control have not only challenged Combs' legacy, but also ignited a broader reckoning with systemic power imbalances. Social media is ablaze, with hashtag Diddy trial reaching 3.2 million posts and hashtag Justice for Cassie hitting 2.3 million by June 13, 2025, per Web Analytics. International coverage, from Le Monde to the Times of India, frames Ventura's courage as a universal stand against elite misconduct, amplifying her impact. June 13, 2025. The prosecution's case gained traction as Ventura's testimony hinted at further evidence, including potential unreleased recordings from bad boy events that could surface through upcoming witnesses, per Rolling Stone. June 13, 2025. Her detailed accounts of Combs' staff facilitating coercive acts, supported by juror-only photos of his inner circle, suggest a tightly controlled operation, per Bloomberg. A recent development indicates prosecutors are negotiating with a former bad boy publicist to testify about cover-up efforts, potentially linking Combs' enterprise to racketeering, per the New York Post. June 13, 2025. These revelations underscore Ventura's role as a linchpin in exposing Combs' alleged network. Courtroom dynamics intensified as Ventura's testimony unfolded. Jurors, already shaken by her injury photos, remained riveted, with one juror taking copious notes during her account of Combs' threats, per NBC News. Judge Arun Subramanian maintained strict control, overruling defense objections to new evidence and warning Combs against further disruptions, per Reuters. June 13, 2025. Combs' legal team, struggling to maintain composure, faced backlash for aggressive cross-examination tactics, which risked alienating jurors, per CNN. Ventura's poise, despite emotional moments, solidified her credibility, per the New York Times. The trial's cultural fallout is reshaping industry norms. Combs' empire continues to erode, with a prominent media company halting a documentary project tied to Bad Boy, citing trial controversy, per Deadline. June 13, 2025. His $400 million net worth, down from $1 billion per Forbes, 2024, and 80-plus lawsuits since 2023, per Rolling Stone, reflect his decline. Advocacy groups like MusiCares are lobbying for mandatory whistleblower protections, inspired by Ventura's testimony, per Billboard. June 13, 2025. Online petitions for artist safety laws have surged to 800,000 signatures, per Changed.org. June 13, 2025, signaling public demand for reform. Is this the end for Combs' influence? Comment below, like this video, subscribe to Fame Flash, and ring the bell for more. Public engagement with the trial is unprecedented, with trial-related searches soaring by 450% since Ventura's testimony, per Google Trends. June 13, 2025. Protests outside Combs' former Los Angeles studio drew over 700 supporters, echoing New York rallies, per the Los Angeles Times. June 13, 2025. Former Bad Boy artists have posted cryptic messages suggesting shared experiences, per Web Trends, while industry insiders report increased whistleblower inquiries, per Variety. June 13, 2025. Ventura's testimony, likened to pivotal #MeToo moments, has inspired global discussions on accountability, with 75% of polled Americans viewing Combs unfavorably, per YouGov. June 13, 2025. The prosecution's strategy is poised to capitalize on Ventura's momentum, with potential testimony from a 2016 hotel security guard and a bad boy publicist looming, per the New York Post. Subpoenaed financial records may reveal payments to suppress allegations, bolstering the sex trafficking charge, per Bloomberg. June 13, 2025. The defense's claim of a consensual relationship falters against Ventura's evidence, with Combs' visible agitation drawing juror scrutiny, per CNN. The trial's outcome could hinge on these witnesses, redefining Combs' narrative, per The Guardian. The trial's global implications are profound, with European music organizations exploring anti-abuse frameworks, citing Ventura's allegations, per Music Week. June 13, 2025. Independent labels are adopting transparent contracts to distance themselves from Bad Boy's tarnished model, per Pitchfork. June 12, 2025. Ventura's testimony, a beacon of resilience, has sparked a movement that could outlast the trial, with lawmakers in New York and California drafting bills to protect young artists, per the New York Daily News. June 13, 2025. Her stand is rewriting the rules of power, per NBC News. This is Fame Flash, your trial news source. Comment if Ventura's testimony changes your perspective on Combs. Like this video, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay updated. Will her courage transform the industry? Share your thoughts below and join Fame Flash for the full story. The Sean Diddy Combs federal trial on day 2 reached its climax with Cassie Ventura's testimony, a devastating blow to the music mogul's legacy. Charged with racketeering and sex trafficking, Combs faces allegations of a coercive empire built on fear. Ventura's courage has redefined the narrative, leaving his future in peril. What will this mean for Combs? Comment below, like this video, subscribe to Fame Flash, and ring the notification bell for updates. Cassie Ventura's testimony, spanning day 2 in Manhattan's federal courthouse, has positioned her as the prosecution's cornerstone, exposing a decade of alleged abuse. Her accounts of physical violence, sexual coercion, and psychological control, backed by photos, texts, and audio, have painted Combs as a controlling figure, per court records. The prosecution's narrative of a criminal enterprise hinges on Ventura's credibility, with upcoming witnesses, like a potential bad boy publicist and hotel security guard, poised to corroborate her claims, per the New York Post, June 13, 2025. These testimonies could solidify the racketeering and sex trafficking charges, per Bloomberg. The defense, led by Combs' high-powered legal team, counters that Ventura's relationship was consensual, citing affectionate texts and her career gains under Bad Boy, per CNN. They argue her 2023 civil lawsuit settlement for $20 million motivated her allegations, per Rolling Stone. Yet their strategy falters against Ventura's emotional impact and Combs' courtroom disruptions, which prompted multiple judicial warnings, per Reuters, June 13, 2025. Jurors, visibly engaged with Ventura's testimony, may view Combs' behavior, nodding at them in outbursts, as detrimental, per NBC News. A recent ex-post noted Judge Arun Subramanian's warning that Combs risked removal for jury interaction, highlighting his unraveling composure, June 5, 2025. The trial's potential outcomes loom large. A conviction on racketeering and sex trafficking could mean life in prison, per the New York Times, dismantling Combs' $400 million empire, down from $1 billion, per Forbes, 2024. Acquittal, however, could allow Combs to rebuild, though his tarnished reputation, evidenced by brands like a fashion retailer and beverage company severing ties, may prove irreparable, per WWD and Forbes, June 13, 2025. A hung jury remains possible, given the defense's focus on Ventura's motives, but her evidence, including the 2016 hotel video, tilts the scales, per Variety. Will justice prevail? Comment below, like this video, subscribe to Fame Flash, and ring the bell for more. The cultural impact of Ventura's testimony is transformative, redefining power dynamics in the music industry. Her stand has fueled global outrage, with hashtag Diddy Trial at 3.5 million posts and hashtag Justice for Cassie at 2.5 million per Web Analytics, June 13, 2025. Protests outside Combs' former studios in New York and Los Angeles, drawing over 1,000 supporters combined, demand accountability, per the Los Angeles Times, June 13, 2025. Advocacy groups like MusiCares and Time's Up are pushing for anti-abuse policies, with 900,000 petition signatures for artist protections, per Changed.org, June 13, 2025. Lawmakers in New York, California, and Europe are drafting artist safety laws, inspired by Ventura, per the New York Daily News and Music Week, June 13, 2025. The industry is already shifting, with independent labels adopting transparent contracts to distance themselves from Bad Boy's model, per Pitchfork, June 12, 2025. Major platforms, including a streaming service and media company, have pulled Combs' music and projects, per Billboard and Deadline, June 13, 2025. Former Bad Boy artists' cryptic posts hint at shared experiences, per Web Trends, while whistleblower inquiries surge, per Variety. Ventura's testimony, likened to hashtag MeToo milestones, has shifted public sentiment, with 78% of Americans viewing Combs unfavorably, per YouGov, June 13, 2025. Her resilience has become a rallying cry, per The Guardian. Combs' legacy, once defined by Bad Boy's cultural dominance, now teeters on collapse. The trial exposes a stark contrast between his public persona as a music kingmaker and the alleged private cruelty Ventura detailed, per NBC News. His empire's unraveling, 80-plus lawsuits, brand rejections, and a plummeting net worth reflects a fall from grace, per Rolling Stone. Ventura's narrative of breaking silence, supported by evidence like juror-only freak-off photos, has reframed Combs as a symbol of unchecked power, per The Hollywood Reporter. Her testimony could catalyze lasting industry reform, ensuring artists' safety, per Billboard. Will Ventura's courage redefine music's future? Comment below, like this video, subscribe to Fame Flash, and ring the notification bell for updates. Cassie Ventura's testimony on day 2 of the Sean Diddy Combs federal trial has become a watershed moment, not just for the courtroom but for the global music industry. Her unflinching account of alleged abuse, physical, sexual, and psychological, has shattered Combs' once untouchable persona, sparking a movement that could reshape how power is wielded in entertainment. Social media reflects this seismic shift, with hashtag Diddy trial soaring to 3.8 million posts and hashtag Justice for Cassie reaching 2.7 million per Web Analytics, June 13, 2025. Global outlets, from Japan's Asahi Shimbun to Brazil's Globo, hail Ventura as a beacon of accountability, amplifying her influence beyond borders, June 13, 2025. Ventura's evidence, including texts, audio, and photos, has solidified her role as a catalyst for change. The juror-only freak-off images, described as graphic by court insiders, underscored Combs' alleged coercion, per Bloomberg. A recent development suggests prosecutors may introduce metadata from Ventura's injury photos, verifying their timestamps to counter defense claims of fabrication, per The New York Post, June 13, 2025. These exhibits, paired with her testimony about Combs' staff facilitating abuse, expose a systemic operation, per NBC News, resonating with jurors who remained engrossed, per The New York Times. The trial's implications extend to Combs' crumbling empire. His $400 million net worth, down from $1 billion per Forbes, 2024, faces further erosion as a global hotel chain ended a partnership tied to his brand, citing trial fallout, per Skift, June 13, 2025. Over 80 lawsuits since 2023, per Rolling Stone, and the loss of music streaming and media projects, per Billboard and Deadline, June 13, 2025, signal his isolation. Industry insiders report a chilling effect, with former allies distancing themselves, per Variety, June 13, 2025. Ventura's testimony has reframed Combs as a cautionary tale of unchecked influence, per The Guardian. The cultural movement sparked by Ventura is gaining unstoppable momentum. Advocacy groups like SoundSafe are drafting model legislation for artist protections, inspired by her allegations, per Music Business Worldwide, June 13, 2025. Petitions for industry reform have surged to 1 million signatures, per Changed.org, June 13, 2025, while protests outside Combs' former studios now span Atlanta, drawing 1,500 supporters, per the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, June 13, 2025. Ventura's stand, likened to hashtag MeToo's pivotal voices, has inspired 82% of polled Americans to support stricter industry oversight, per YouGov, June 13, 2025. Can this movement endure? Comment below, like this video, subscribe to Fame Flash, and ring the bell for more. The industry is already transforming, with major labels like Sony and Universal reviewing contract practices to avoid Bad Boy's tarnished model, per Pitchfork, June 13, 2025. The Recording Academy is developing a task force to address abuse, citing Ventura's testimony, per Billboard, June 13, 2025. Global regulators, including the UK's Creative Industries Council, are exploring anti-coercion guidelines, per Music Week, June 13, 2025. Former Bad Boy artists and producers have begun sharing anonymized accounts of coercion, per Web Trends, fueling speculation about additional witnesses for the New York Post. Ventura's narrative has become a blueprint for reform for the Los Angeles Times. Public engagement with the trial is unparalleled, with trial-related searches spiking by 500% since Ventura's testimony, per Google Trends, June 13, 2025. Online forums buzz with discussions comparing Combs to fallen moguls, while #SayNoToAbuse, inspired by Ventura, trends at 1.2 million posts per Web Analytics. Educational institutions like Berklee College of Music are incorporating her case into ethics curricula per Variety, June 13, 2025. Ventura's resilience, breaking silence despite fear, has cemented her as a cultural icon per NBC News, with her testimony driving legislative proposals in 5 U.S. states for the New York Daily News, June 13, 2025. The prosecution's endgame relies on Ventura's legacy to seal Combs' fate. Potential testimony from a bad boy publicist and a hotel security guard could link financial records to cover-ups for Bloomberg, June 13, 2025. The defense's consensual relationship argument, weakened by Combs' courtroom volatility, risks collapse if jurors